If you love me, is that Gucci on my feet? You might be, cause I'm icy, wifey. Haters wanna fight me. Never been the one get RP up on a whitey. Keep my hands clean, got some hitters moving shicey. Ask me if I'm rolling with some Gucci, it might be. It's very unlike.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Marissa here, as you guys probably saw from the intro. Technically this is an intro, but hey, we're rolling with it. So, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Oh, this thing's in the way, isn't it? So as you guys might be able to tell, I am in my car filming today's video, and the reason why is just because I was driving and I decided to park at like some park, and well, I know this park, I come here all the time, but anyways, so yeah, I decided to film here just because I don't know, I can be loud in my car and have nobody hear me, and it feels good to just film in my car. It's freaking hot outside and I don't have my AC running, I don't have my windows down, so this is gonna be a little bit challenging because I might sweat like a freaking pig in here, but that's totally fine because it's not like, you know, a big deal. I'm only gonna be in here for a short amount of time because I just wanted to film a little story time. I have never done a story time on my channel before, guys, so I don't exactly know how good this is going to be, but I thought, do I have lipstick on my teeth? I don't. Okay. Basically, I am going to be telling you guys about the time that my parents found my pregnancy test. Now, I say my pregnancy test, however, it was not my pregnancy test. I'm only saying that because technically they thought it was mine. I was 13, I think I was 13, yeah. 8th grade? Yeah, because I was 12 in 7th grade, so 13 would be 8th grade. I was in 8th grade, 13 years old, and I know that is really young to be, you know, handling a pregnancy test. And you guys are probably wondering, like, why the hell did she have a pregnancy test when she was only 13 years old? Well, I'm gonna tell you guys that. So I had a friend who was also 13 and she was doing the do. So basically, we always hung out during PE together. Now, we only had one class together, which was PE, and she was super, super, super awesome. We will call her Rebecca. So Rebecca and I were really good friends and we always hung out at PE. She was sexually active, as in sex, with some guy. I don't know who it was, but she needed a pregnancy test because I think it was her first time having sex, and you know, the first time that you do the do, you're like, holy sh**, I'm pregnant. Like, there's no doubt about it, because like when you're, you know, when you first, okay, I don't want to keep saying sex. When you first start doing like things with the opposite sex or the same sex, doesn't really matter, but you know, with the opposite sex, you're bound to, well, you're not bound to get pregnant, but you can get pregnant. She basically was nervous that she was pregnant, which I kind of, I mean, me, like being a 13-year-old and her having sex, I was like,
oh my god, you're probably pregnant too. You should probably get a test because you never know.
So basically I egged her on and I was like, yeah, you should get a test because most likely you're pregnant and you're not supposed to be doing the do right now. We are only 13 years old. So yeah, so she had to get a pregnancy test, and I think she wanted to take it at school or something, so she brought it to PE. I don't really know why she brought it to school in the first place, but I guess when you're that age, you're like, oh, look at me, this is cool. I don't really know. I don't, honestly, I cannot remember exactly, but I do know that she brought the test to school and I really don't know why. So anyways, yeah, so she brought the test to school, and at the time, I had an issue with my ankle. I can talk about it in another story time, but I did have a tumor in my ankle and I could not do PE. So I had a boot and crutches and all that. So I couldn't do PE, and neither could she. I don't remember why. I think she used the whole, you know, on your dot excuse, your monthly excuse. So I think she was using that thing to get out of PE. I mean, you know, we all have done that before. So she was using that excuse to get out of PE, and so she was sitting with me on the benches and we weren't doing jack shit. So we decided to go take her pregnancy test in the bathroom at school, and that was like kind of odd. I'm like 100% positive it turned out negative because that test ended up in my backpack for God knows why, and that's the reason why my parents found the pregnancy test. But anyways, we're getting to that. So she took the pregnancy test, it came out negative, as I just said, and so we were like, oh, thank God, whatever. This is like totally not the point of the story. But so I don't know how, I think it was since we were at PE, usually you leave your backpacks in the locker room. Well, me, I never really was the type to do that. I would always bring my backpack with me just because I know those sketchy little girls are always breaking into lockers and taking your things, especially at the school that I was at this point in time. A lot of people would break into the lockers and take your stuff. So I didn't want my stuff stolen, obviously. So my backpack was always on my back, attached to me completely. So I had my backpack with me, she didn't. So we decided to throw it in my backpack and I would give it to her after PE in the locker rooms. Well, obviously that didn't work out. I ended up carrying the pregnancy test all throughout the day and I didn't even remember that I had it in my backpack because you go through all your classes during the day and you're like, you forget. So I totally forgot that I had the test in my backpack like a freaking idiot. I mean, I was 13 years old, so who could blame me? But I went home that day after school and I still forgot that the pregnancy test was in my backpack. So I used to walk home a lot of the time so I could easily just toss it away or throw it out the window, or not throw it out the window because I was walking, but throw it just somewhere or throw it in the trash, wherever. But I totally just forgot that it was in my backpack. So when I got home, I was gonna say I was doing my homework, but I was not doing my homework. I was probably, I don't know what I was doing, on my phone or talking to somebody. I don't know. I was not doing my homework right after school, let's be real. But I was doing something, probably on the computer or something, and I have a nephew. He is now gonna be 8 years old actually tomorrow.
Woo, happy birthday to my baby. But anyways, besides the point.
He lived with me for a while, so he was only 2 years old, I believe, at the time, and he liked to go through my things and, just go through everybody's things. Well, I got home and I put my backpack in my room and I just kind of wandered off, whatever, didn't think anybody was going to be going through my backpack. And my nephew, I guess, went into my room and I guess, I don't know, unzipped my backpack for whatever reason. He was like, this is the only time he's ever done that, by the way. So he was like, yeah, I'm gonna unzip your backpack today. This is the only day I've ever done this, and this is the only day I will because I know you have a pregnancy test in there, so your parents are gonna know. My nephew got my test,
well, my friend's test,
out of my backpack, and apparently he just wanted to wave it around and do whatever, play with it, and leave it just in the hallway for everybody to walk past. Am I getting sweaty? Oh, Lord, it's hot in here. I feel like I am. It's 90 degrees today, and I'm not having it right now. So anyways, my nephew decided to play with it and just drop it, leave it in the hall, and go to the next thing to play with. So apparently, I didn't see it, but apparently it was in the hall just laying down. And I have two brothers. I'm the only girl, so obviously it had to have been my pregnancy test. So I believe my dad was walking in the hall and he stumbled across a random ass pregnancy test laying on the floor. Immediately, of course, he turned to me and he thought it was mine. So I was like, oh sh**, because when I heard him, I was like, no, no. So yeah, I heard my dad like scream, across the hall, Mari! Which that's what they call me, because in Spanish, Marissa, Mari, you get the gist. So I heard Mari, and I was like, oh no, what did I do now? My mom and my dad were standing in their restroom at the house that we were living at, and I was like, what's going on, guys? Like, what did I do now, kind of? And I saw the pregnancy test in my dad's hand, and I was like, oh my God, please, please, please don't think that's mine. I swear to you, it's not mine. And my dad was basically like, what the hell is this? Like, explain this to me. I don't know exactly what I said or what they said, but basically he was like, what the hell is this? Like, explain to me. They were furious though. And my mom was like, she looked so disappointed, like as if I was pregnant or something at 13 years old. Like, if I was already, like, if the test said positive and I was pregnant, like, that's literally how she looked. As if I was already pregnant or something. But anyways, so they were both standing there and I was like, okay, I could explain. And as bad as it sounds, like, when you're stuck in a situation like that and you're like, oh, that was my friend's pregnancy test, I promise you, how legit does that sound? I mean, I will wait until you guys really, like, can tell me how legit that actually sounds. We have all used an excuse before where we did something stupid and we're like,
oh no, that was my friend, or oh no, that was this person.
So automatically they were like, okay, I know you're bullshitting me, like, tell us the truth, whatever, like, this is your test and you need to be straight up about it. You know, we can't believe you and da 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 da. And I was like, it's not mine, it's my friend's, like, please. I was like crying and sobbing and like, oh, please, this is not mine. And because I was being so honest, like, this was not my test. So I was like crying and sad and like, please believe me. And even if I were to call my friend and tell her to come over or ask her, or, you know, tell her to talk to my parents, really, a lot of friends do that. They cover for each other. So my parents were not going to believe it either way. So basically I got my ass chewed out, and I believe I had a little fling at the time, little, you know, 13-year-old boyfriend. So I was not able to like see him or anything like that because my parents really thought that we were doing things like that, and like they thought as if like we, you know, were gonna have a baby or something at 13 years old. So I wasn't allowed to see him. I wasn't allowed to see any friends. I wasn't allowed to go anywhere because I was like on this grounding thing when it was not my test to begin with in the first place. I got my ass shut. And even my mom, like, my mom is the sweetest person ever. Like, if you guys ever were to meet her, she's the sweetest, most kind person ever, like, ever. And even she was disappointed and she was like kind of cussing at me too. And I was like, Ma, what? So basically, guys, that was pretty much how they found my test, and well, my friend's test, and it was a really horrible, really bad experience. My mom actually was like, decided to come like have a talk with me in the living room. So she pulled me aside after my dad like chewed my ass out, and she was talking to me like, you know, I understand that you're getting to an age like that talk. And I was like, ugh. If you're gonna have this talk, have it with my friend, because it's not me. She's more of the understanding type of parent, so she was like, just, you know, you're getting to this age, da 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 da, like, we need to do something about this. If you're, like, she was like basically telling me like, are you having sex, yes or no? Like, she wasn't gonna say like, oh, I'm gonna beat your ass if you are. No, she was just like, you know, I understand, and just let me know, just tell me so I can take the proper steps as your mom and, you know, get you prepared for whatever it is that you're going to be doing. Because obviously when you're a teenager, you know, obviously I'm there, obviously you're going to do, like, get it together, Marissa. Obviously you're going to be doing whatever the hell you want to do regardless of what your parents say, and she knows that. I mean, she was a teenager once, and she has I have two older brothers, so she knew that already. So she was like wanting to take the proper steps in helping me protect myself, which I didn't need to be at that moment, but you know, she did it anyways. So yeah, so she was like, are you or are you not having sex? Da 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 da. We had that whole talk, and she had like the talk with me. I was like, oh. I had to go to Planned Parenthood because my mom, she wanted me to go to Planned Parenthood to, I guess, get the proper things and be on birth control and da 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 da, because they both were seriously convinced that that was my test and I was taking it because I was pregnant or something and sexually active at 13 years old and like all these things. And I'm not saying whether I was or I wasn't, but it's like just the fact that that test was not mine. But either way, it did help me out in the long run, because whenever I did want to do things in high school and all of that, I was prepared because I was already on birth control and all that. By the way, no, being on birth control, like my mom taking me to go get birth control from Planned Parenthood, it did not, well, I don't think she took me, I think my cousin took me, but no, it did not make me want to have sex like all the time and be like, okay, well, now that I'm on birth control, let's see who the heck I can sleep with. Like, no, that was not the case at all. And honestly, guys, I'm on birth control to this day. Now I'm on it because I don't want to get pregnant, but that's a whole, well, it's not that I don't want to get pregnant, but I mean, I do, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, that's not the point. But I was actually on birth control since I've been 13 because it also helped out with my weight, it helped out with my acne, it helped out with my mood. So I have been on birth control for a very, very, very long time now. So yeah, just, I know that there's gonna be people who are like, oh, why would your mom do that? Like, you know, that's gonna make you want to do, no. No, that was not the case at all. In fact, I was gonna do whatever I wanted to do regardless of whether I was on birth control or not. That wasn't even, an issue. I'm just so grateful that my mom did help me, get to those steps of like whatever. So basically what I'm trying to say is that through this whole very, very, very horrible, like traumatic, obviously I'm 20 and still talking about it, through this traumatic situation, yes, it was really, 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 really horrible at the time. I wanted to basically die. I was 13 years old. I was literally contemplating on killing myself at the time. I was like, nope, I'm gone. I don't want to be here anymore. This is the end for me. That's literally what I thought. But now that I look back on it and I'm like, I'm older now and, I've just been through all these other different experiences. I totally am so grateful for that one experience because it probably did save me maybe from getting pregnant at a young age, who knows. But I am very grateful for that situation because not only that, I would know how to handle it if it were to come to my own kids. And at the time I literally wanted to die and it really, really, really sucked. And honestly, if you are 13 and pregnant, who cares, I mean, it's just, I wasn't and my friend wasn't either. So the test came out negative, but if you are 13 and pregnant, there's always a way to get through it. There's time really heals everything. Like whether you have the strictest parents or not, like my parents, they're not strict, but they would have been strict on that. Like I thought I was gonna literally die. I thought I was planning my funeral like at that moment, literally. But yeah, anyways, so basically that was it. And I don't know if my parents still think to this day that that was my pregnancy test. But yeah, guys, it is like a sauna in here. I am getting so sweaty. My shirt is starting to get wet. I need to turn this AC on and go ASAP. I could talk about this longer, but there's no way I'm gonna be sitting here in my car talking about this in like 100-degree weather. Not happening. It's probably 100 degrees in my car right now. So anyways, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I know that this was kind of like a lame story time, but I just wanted to get it out quickly because I thought about it and I was like, yes, story. So yeah, guys, with that being said, I hope you really enjoyed this video and learned something from it about me, I guess. It was a really shitty time, and if I could go back to it, no, I wouldn't. If I could have stopped it from happening, again, no, I wouldn't, because like I said, I learned a lot from it and I'm probably a better person because of it. Who knows? But yeah, if you guys like this video and you guys do like story times, then go ahead and like this video so that way I can know whether you guys want to see more story times, or you can leave a comment. Doesn't really matter. Like this video, comment, whatever. And if you guys have not subscribed already, then what are you doing? Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Since you are already here, you can subscribe to my channel. So go ahead and do it. Like I said, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.
Or you can lock her up and give the key to me. Take it down low, drop it down to the ground floor,